Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. This morning we're going to have a conversation about intermittent fasting. What is it? How does it work? And to do that, I want to welcome registered dietitian Dianne B. Charles. Good morning, Dianne.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning to you today.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Blessed this morning. Glad to be alive.
Hey, we give thanks and
Yes,
praises for that.
yes.
All right, so I've been hearing for quite some time everybody trying to get their best version of their bodies, etc., etc., and they do all sorts of different things to try and attain that. One of those things I've been hearing used quite often is intermittent fasting. Tell me, what is intermittent fasting?
Okay, permit me, please, before we start, a little disclaimer that what we're going to be speaking about this morning would not apply to persons who have chronic diseases,
All right.
diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney disease. Because I know a lot of you are going to be overweight, but you need to be in a confined area and be speaking about how you're going to be doing that.
Right.
But to get back to your question, it's like a cycle. I decide I'm going to fast for certain periods, and I'm going to eat for certain periods. However, it doesn't talk about how much. It doesn't talk about what. It seems to focus on when. The when is a little concern because, Rokas, am I correct?
Yes.
Are you going to fast when you're moving about? How can you look at someone who is up and down in an office, up and down stairs, busy to meetings, and you're going to say you're going to fast for 8 hours or even 6 hours in that day, and then you're going to eat after everything is finished? What are you going to be doing to your body? Have you started to consider what you were doing before, and now you suddenly got up this Monday morning, yes, I'm going to start intermittent fasting? That's a shock to the body. And these things people have to understand. We have to do it gradually.
Okay.
Then you start to get the headaches. Then you start thinking about food. Oh my gosh, you're accustomed to have your nice bacon and your 2 eggs every morning. We need to look at when you decide to do it, but I am more concerned in the next few minutes to be concentrating on the what. What are you choosing? First of all, what is your purpose?
Right.
Are we speaking here about, because we are into the fasting period, Lent and also Ramadan.
And also Ramadan. So lots of people are fasting right now.
But that's a purpose.
Right.
For 30 days, for 40 days, however you look at it. At the end of that period, my concern is always, okay, when I break the fast at 6 o'clock or whatever, are you going to go and have a huge pilau or nice bus of short roti? That's another danger.
Right.
And if we look at that, and we look at intermittent fasting, that is the period. What are you doing at the end of your fast, and what are you doing in your fast?
All right, so let me get into some recommendations then.
Yes.
Because you're saying the what is important.
The what meaning, okay, we already identified the when.
Right.
We're going to decide whether it's the 16-8, fast for 16, eat for 8. You have a 5-2. So in a 5-day week, I'm only going to eat 2 days of that week. So 2 days every week in a month I'm eating. And then you have I think it's eat, stop, eat, where you decide within a week, I'm going to decide when I'm going to eat for 24 hours. Nothing from dinner to dinner the next day, something like that.
Right.
But it's the what. That's what I'd like to focus on.
Tell me,
Okay.
what should we be eating, or how should we be addressing that what we put into our bodies during that time and after that time?
So we are looking now at, you want to lose weight.
Right.
We
If that's the
know
purpose.
that the religious part, we know why you're doing that.
Right.
But 80% out there are doing it because they want to lose weight. Why did you put on the weight in the first instance? Because you were eating items that were gaining calories and you were not balancing your input with your output. So now what you're going to do? Those same foods, all you are doing is telling yourself, I'm not going to eat between X at a certain time, but after that time you're still going to eat. You're still going to go back to possibly what you need to start looking at the foods that give us the higher calories. All our extra sugar, I did not say you cannot have sugar. This is the added sugar. For example, your cup of tea. Are you putting condensed milk and sugar in it?
What?
That is too much. Okay. If you look at a label of
That's
a lot of
wild.
our sugar sweetened beverages, and you see a bottle that is about, let's say, 8 ounces. You look at the serving size and it tells you 16 grams of sugar per per serving size. But the serving size is 4 ounces. I'm just using figures now.
Of course.
But you're drinking the whole 8 ounces, so that's twice. You're actually taking in 32 grams. So you're taking 32 grams of extra sugar when you could have had water and suck an orange. Because you want to lose weight.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is start looking at where am I having the extra sugars, the extra fats. Are you in the habit of, and especially ladies out there, that time of the month, or maybe into premenopause, and I need my little sweet after I eat. Especially at night, I want to nibble, I want to get the chocolates.
Little munchies.
Yeah, but how much of those munchies you having? And what half of those munchies will also have fat in it.
Right.
So the sugars, yes, it's not fat the enemy all the time. Sugar could be your enemy.
Well, sugar becomes fat, not so?
Correct, and that's the bad fat sometimes. That triglyceride, if it keeps rising, can block up our arteries.
Right. But are there benefits to the intermittent fasting?
The benefits to the intermittent fasting, yes. Of course, you will get a better, your body now will, once you get into the pattern that is,
right.
Your body will have a nice rhythm, a nice pattern of eating, which is what we advocate. Okay. Another benefit, your whole metabolism. I've heard people speak about they had digestive problems, and now they're not, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago, we're not burping on mornings, we're not feeling the gas, gas is not coming out as before. We also have sometimes less headaches. You feel contented, you feel light, so therefore you feel happier, you have a better sense of well-being. But that is, don't call it intermittent fasting. Let us talk about changing your lifestyle. So you start with intermittent fasting, we develop a pattern. And I assure you, that pattern can go with you, But coming back to the what are you choosing? Because some of these fasting periods, you can have things to eat.
Right.
And persons tend to go for the little ultra-processed snacks, a little pack of chips, and because it's marked lightly salted, it's marked baked. So great, I could just have that in between. Or they may decide to cut up vegetables, little celery sticks and so, but they have the dip. You with me?
Right.
Okay.
So the key for me, what I'm getting here is balancing the actual diet in the first place, regardless of whether you're fasting or not.
Correct.
Balancing your diet is key.
It's all about the when you eat.
Right.
It's your pattern. We do not eat large quantities at the end of a day. Well, again, I'm looking at a typical 7 to 3, 8 to 4 day.
Right.
Shift workers are a huge challenge, real huge, because if you're a shift worker, you should try and maintain the same timing. That's what we're looking at. So, for example, you work at 6 to 6, you're coming off duty at 6 a.m. But you're going to take a sleep. So it comes like if I'm coming off duty at 5, 6 p.m. So you don't come off and say, I'm going to have a huge breakfast, and then you're going to bed. No. So it's the same thing we're looking at, that we want you to try and maintain a pattern. This is the whole thing. It's about discipline, Ruckus.
Right.
It's about discipline.
Speaking of which, right? So your body, let's say you're doing the intermittent fasting, right? Of course, now your body would be reacting differently to when you eat and when you don't eat.
Correct.
When it comes to things like vitamins, when it comes to things like exercise, do we still hold regular patterns, or do we not have to adjust these patterns to go with your intermittent fasting?
Correct. You're going to have to adjust it, especially if you may decide at the end of a day. Let's say you did your 7 to 3 or 8 hours in the day, and your exercise used to be in the evening, but you didn't eat anything during the day. So you're going to work out in the gym. You're going to be tired, and then you're going to be hungry.
But then you're burning off the extra fat, not so?
Yeah, but you're doing it before. The way you're doing it now, you're changing around, because before you may have been eating during the day,
right.
So then you have a lighter meal, but now you're fasting during the day. So there's that tendency, and this is what personally I want people to understand. You cannot tell me that you are fasting, whether you're doing it now for religious or whatever, and then you come in to eat a heavy meal. The heart pumps as we eat. Why are we giving the heart all that extra work to do? Why can't you learn to control your quantities? Still my timing, but control your quantities. Breakfast. So you decide now you were eating a breakfast, which is the first meal of the day, and all of us should have something in us because we need those calories. We need, the brain needs to start going. Okay. And what do? You say, yes, I'm going to fast from 7 a.m. So I'm just getting up, having a cup of coffee, and that's it.
So
but you see, so it's like we have to be careful we don't shock the body.
So would you then recommend, if you're going to do intermittent fasting, would you recommend then that we start with a big meal at the beginning of the day, and then if you're choosing to not eat for the rest of the day, that'd be better?
Correct, but don't look at it as big, look at it as controlled.
Right.
So yes, you could decide. I love it when people tell me that they have their if we could say lunch type meal at breakfast.
Okay.
Your rice and your potato. But control, control, because of the calories. That is why we put on weight. It's what we eat, it's what we take in, and it's when we do the extra sugar sweetened beverages. Oh gosh, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling weak. What's the first thing you go for?
The energy drink of some sort.
And I am seeing so many different ones now. You just have to learn to read labels. Learn to read, and don't feel that water helps at all. So you say, great, I'll fast, and just drink water. Why don't stick a little fruit in there? Because now we're trying to push fruits and vegetables because of everything around us. We want to get protection. What is wrong? Look at the starch mangoes coming, but I am never going to tell you, sit down and have 3 and 4 starch mangoes at one time. Because I'm intermittent fasting, I'm allowed to have fruit. No, learn to spread it, learn to distribute it.
Now, we're going to have issues here this morning, Dianne, because, I mean, you can't tell me not to have 3 and 4 starch mango at the same time.
No, because you see, I have to teach you now, learn to control. This is what...
No, but this is mango. This is sent by the Lord. The Lord is providing this for us.
I hear you, but are you going to tell me, forget starch, let's go with Julie.
Ma'am, we haven't any mango in any amount. I'm willing to eat mango until the mango done.
I will give it to you, but I am not giving it. You see? Okay? No way. You're not doing. Okay, you do all of that. Where you gonna get room now for my little bhaji and my rice and my sweet potato and where you gonna
so
get
what you're
room
saying
for
is
that?
have the mangoes, the fruits as snacks. So
No.
replace your unhealthy snacks with healthy snacks, as in natural
You
snacks.
could even combine them if you wanted
Right.
to, but we wouldn't go there right now. But what I'm saying is spread it, start in the morning, have one in the morning. Then you could come back now, let's say you're a 2 o'clock lunch person. Have it about 11, the
Right.
second mango. And then the third mango might be about 4 o'clock because you're going to be working until 6, 7 o'clock. But spread it, don't. You see, that is the problem. We overdo because we figure fruits don't have calories and fruits are healthy. I want the fruits and vegetables, but I want us to learn. That's why when we sit down with people, individual plants, we teach you, we show you how you can mix and match.
All right. So, Dianne, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I think the key takeaway for me is balance. Balancing what you
Correct.
eat is the way forward.
And
yeah?
combining your nutrients and your foods.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us this
You are
morning, and
most
wish you all the
welcome.
best.
Okay,
Ladies
thank
and
you.
gentlemen, we take a quick break and come back with more in our morning show.
Don't forget.